Hello everybody. In this lecture we will learn how to create our classes, and I am very excited because classes, objects and also inheritance is very important for object oriented programming. And I know some people they get confused about classes and also inheritance, but don't worry, I will try to do my best, and I will give you many examples about classes and also objects. Okay, we will make many examples and we will learn how we can use classes in our programs. Classes, as I said, is very important because if you want to create real programs, we need to use classes and also inheritance, of course. And so this lesson is very important. If you don't understand, please watch it again, okay? And 2 times, 3 times, five times you can watch it and try to you need to understand this lecture because it is, as I said, it is very important. If you want to be a really good developer, we need to learn how we can create our classes, okay? And firstly, let's create our class. And how we can do that? It's simple. We need to use class keyword here, okay? And I will say my class name is employee, like functions it's creating like very similar, but here I will say pass. Why I'm using pass? Because firstly I want to create my objects manually, and after that I will create my objects automatically with my functions, okay? And so I said pass, and now I will create my objects manually. And for employee one, what I need to say? I need to say employee one is equal to employee, okay? That's all. This is if you want to create an instance or object, just you need to say it's equal to your class name, okay? Employee one is equal to employee class. That's all. And now I created a unique employee with my class, okay? Let's here I want to talk about something here. As you see, it is recommended capitalize your class name, okay? Of course you can say you can use small lowercase also, but if you capitalize your class name, it is recommended, okay? And after that I want to create another employee, and I will say employee 2 is equal to employee class name again. And for the last one I will say employee 3 is equal to my class name employee. Now as you see, they have no attributes here, right? Each guy here. So how can I define some attributes for my employees? It's also simple. For example, if I want to create here 3 attributes, okay? Name, age, and also salary. For the name, I will say here only employee one dot name is equal to, let's say, Tom, okay? And for the age, employee one dot age is equal to, let's say, 33, and employee one dot salary is equal to, let's say, 5,000, okay? This is for first object, okay? Now let's create for others also. Employee 2 dot name is equal to, let's say, Jack, and employee 2 dot age is equal to 44. Employee 2 dot salary is equal to, let's say, 6,000, okay? And the last one, let's create for employee 3. Employee 3 dot name Kate, and employee 3 dot age, say 24. And for the last attribute I will say employee 3 dot salary, say 2,400, okay? And now as you see, now I created manually my objects. Let's run it, and I didn't get any error, so this is good. If I want to print out, for example, name of my employee one, so how can I do that? It's simple. Just I need to say employee one dot name, okay? Now shift and enter. As you see, Python returned for me Tom, because my employee one name is Tom. Here this is, I showed you how we can create our objects manually, but of course this is not good way to create our objects, because we need to use functions to create automatically our objects, okay? So how we can do that? I want to show it. To do that, here I will say def, I need to use functions, okay? And very important function, def init function, okay, underscore double underscore here, and after that init, and here also same. And here what I need to say, parenthesis, my first parameter is self. I will explain what is the self, okay, and after that name, my attributes, age and salary, right? Now let's talk about here this function and also self keyword. Init means initialization, or you can say constructor, okay. Then it will allow us how create our objects automatically, okay. And the self is a reference, actually reference to objects, okay, that are made based on this class. To reference our objects of this class, self will always be first parameter, okay. For more details I will provide a link, and also you can read this article and you can learn more details about classes and also self keyword, okay. And now here how can I create my objects? I need to say here self dot name is equal to name, and here this one is same, but for example you can say here name with you can capitalize it, but it is recommended to use same words, okay. And for the other one, self dot age is equal to age, and the self dot salary is equal to salary, okay. This is now we done, we finished our first init function, and now we can create our objects with this function. Let's comment out these codes, and here what I will say, for example, if I want to create an object, I need to say employee1 is equal to, again, employee, okay, my class name, and after that between parentheses I will say Tom, and the other one was age, right? Age for Tom 33, and salary was 5,000. And now shift and enter. As you see, now I create my employee, and now if you compare this one and this one is this way is better, and of course it's more professional because we need to use functions to create our objects, and also some other functions to do something with our objects, okay. And for the other employee, what I need to say employee2 is equal to employee, and here for the name I will say Jack, aged 44, and 6,000 it is salary for the last one. And here is, of course, all of them is unique, okay. And I will say employee, and here what I will say Kate, and 24, 2,500, okay. This is we created now our objects with initialization function, okay. And let's call someone, for example, if I say a dot employee1 dot name and run it, as you see it's a Python returned for me Tom, and it's also working this function. And you might think about maybe we need more functions about our for our class. Yes, this is also true. We can create another functions for our classes. For example, you might need to display your employees, or you might need to raise their salary. So to do that, how we can do that? To do that, we need to create another functions, okay. This is the first one. It is allows us to create our objects, okay. But if I want to, for example, display my employees, how can I do that? Something wrong here, sorry. A1 is, why is red? I didn't understand. Okay, now let's also create another function. If I want to display my objects, how can I do it? I will say here I will create another function, okay, display, let's say display, and after that colon. Here what I need to say here, again I need to use self keyword, okay, and self is parameter, don't forget it, so we need to always use self, okay. Here I will say self, and after that I will use print function because I want to display my objects, right. And here I will say employee name let's use curly brackets here and format method, and employee age, again curly brackets, and employee salary, curly brackets, and here what I need to say, I need to say dot format, sorry, here dot format, and between parentheses what I need to say, self dot name, okay, for the first one, and the other one is self dot age, and the last one is self dot salary. Okay, if I run this one, and now here if I want to display my first for example first employee, how can I do that, or how I can apply this function for each object? It's also simple. Let's say for example employee2 dot, I want to display it. How can I do that? Employee2 dot display. Okay, that's all. I need to type my function name and first object name and dot my function name, and now if I press shift and enter, as you see employee name is Jack, employee age is 44, and employee salary is 6,000. This is how we can apply the functions we create for our objects. Okay, for now that's all. Now we simply learned how we can create our classes, and also we create also simple function for our objects. Okay, in the next lecture we will learn more details about classes and also functions for our objects. See you in the next.